My name does not matter yet. What matters is this moment. I am standing behind cold metal bars, my hands shaking, my heart beating so fast it hurts. A guard is calling my name, telling me to step forward. My legs feel weak. 2 years. 2 long, painful years. That is how long I have been locked away. 2 years because of a lie. 2 years because of his mistress. And today I am being released. But what he does not know, what no one knows yet, is that my freedom will cost him everything. Before I go any further, let me ask you something. If someone you loved destroyed your life, framed you, and walked free while you suffered, what would you do? Would you forgive? Or would you wait for the right moment? If you love emotional, powerful stories like this, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and turn on your notifications so you never miss what comes next. Also, tell me in the comments, what country are you watching from? I want to know who is here with me. Now listen closely, because what I am about to tell you is real pain. The prison door makes a loud sound as it opens. That sound has lived in my nightmares for 2 years. The smell of the place, cold walls, dirty floors, sadness, fills my nose. Other women watch me. Some look jealous. Some look hopeful. Some look broken. I step forward. And suddenly, I remember the day my life ended. It was the day I found out about her. The mistress. She came into my life like a shadow. Quiet. Smiling. Pretending to be kind. She looked at me as if she respected me. As if she cared. But behind my back, she was taking everything that belonged to me. My husband was once my whole world. I trusted him. I believed in him. I defended him when others warned me. I told everyone. He would never hurt me. I was wrong. The first sign was small. Late nights. Phone calls he took outside. A smile on his face that no longer belonged to me. When I asked questions, he became angry. When I cried, he became cold. Then one night, everything exploded. He stood in front of me, his eyes empty. No love. No shame. She's pregnant, he said. I felt my heart stop. Before I could even speak, he added something worse. You are in the way. From that moment, my life was no longer mine. Days later, the police came. They said I had committed a crime I did not understand. They showed me papers. Lies. Statements I had never made. Evidence I had never seen. My husband stood there, calm, holding her hand. The mistress. She cried fake tears. She pointed at me and said, she threatened me. She wanted to ruin us. I screamed. I begged. I told the truth. But no one listened. The judge looked at me like I was already guilty. My husband did not even look at me. He signed papers with steady hands. That day, the gavel came down. 2 years in prison. I remember collapsing. I remember screaming his name. I remember promising myself something in that courtroom. If I ever walk free, he will regret this. Back in the present, the guard tells me to sign my release papers. My hands are still shaking, but my eyes are clear. I have changed. Prison did not break me. It rebuilt me. Inside those walls, I learned patience. I learned silence. I learned how to watch, how to listen, how to wait. I learned things about my husband and his mistress that they thought were buried forever. Secrets have a way of finding the right ears. As I step outside for the first time in 2 years, the sun hits my face. It feels strange. Warm. Almost painful. I close my eyes and breathe deeply. I am free. But he is not ready for what comes next. Because while he thought I was locked away and forgotten, I was preparing. And just as I take my first step into freedom, a voice behind me says something that makes my blood run cold. A voice that should not be there. A voice that changes everything. I turn slowly, and my heart drops. The person standing behind me is someone I never thought I would see again. My sister. For a moment, I forget how to breathe. She looks older, thinner. Her eyes move quickly, like she is scared someone might be watching us. The wind blows her hair across her face, and she keeps pushing it back with shaking hands. "Why are you here?" I whisper. She does not answer right away. Instead, she looks around the prison gate, then steps closer to me. "I couldn't let you walk out alone," she finally says. Her voice sounds soft, but I hear fear hiding inside it. 2 years ago, she promised to stand by me. 2 years ago, she cried and said she believed me. But when the trial came, when I needed her voice the most, she disappeared. That pain still lives inside my chest. "So now you care?" I ask. She flinches. I never stopped caring. I want to scream. I want to ask her why she did not come to court. Why she did not fight for me. Why she let me rot in that place while my husband lived freely with his mistress. But before I can say any of that, she says something that freezes my blood. "You were never supposed to go to prison." I stare at her. "What do you mean?" She swallows hard. "He planned everything." I already knew that. But hearing someone else say it makes my knees weak. "There's more," she whispers. "Much more than you know." We walk away from the prison gates. Each step feels strange, like the ground does not belong to me anymore. Cars pass by. People laugh. Life continues like I never disappeared for 2 years. We sit on a bench under a tree. My sister keeps looking around, like she is afraid someone might hear us. "Start talking," I say. She takes a deep breath. The mistress was not the idea. She was the excuse. My heart pounds. "Explain." "He needed you gone," she says. "Not divorced. Not angry. Gone." I feel sick. "Why?" She looks me straight in the eyes. "Because of the money." Everything becomes quiet in my head. The house. The accounts. The property in my name. The documents my parents left me. Things I never thought about deeply because I trusted him. "He couldn't touch anything while you were free," she continues. "So he framed you. He used her to look innocent. A crying pregnant woman. A dangerous wife. The story was perfect. Tears fill my eyes, but I refuse to let them fall." "And you knew this?" I ask slowly. She nods. Tears spill down her face now. "I found out too late. By the time I tried to speak, he threatened me." "With what?" I demand. She lowers her voice. "He showed me proof. Proof that he could ruin my life too." My hands curl into fists. Inside prison, I learn something important. Fear only has power when you are alone. "And the mistress?" I ask. My sister lets out a bitter laugh. She thinks she won. But she doesn't know the truth. "What truth?" "That he is already planning to get rid of her." My mouth opens slightly. "What?" "She was useful while you were alive in his way," my sister says. "But now, she knows too much." My heart feels heavy, but also calm. This man destroyed my life. He stole my freedom. He smiled while I cried behind bars. And now, he is doing the same thing to someone else. I stand up. "What are you doing?" my sister asks. "Going to see him." Her eyes widen. "No. It's too soon. He doesn't even know you're free yet." "That's exactly why," I say. We take a bus across town. Every street feels familiar and strange at the same time. When we stop in front of my old house, my chest tightens. The house I built. The house I decorated. The house where I once felt safe. The mistress's car is parked outside. I do not knock. I walk straight in. She is in the living room, wearing my robe. My robe. She turns, shocked, and drops the glass in her hand. It shatters on the floor. "You," she gasps. "Yes," I say calmly. "Me." She starts shaking. You're not supposed to be here." I smile. "Funny. I said the same thing 2 years ago. She steps back. He didn't tell me you were getting out today. I'm sure he didn't, I reply. I look around. My photos are gone. My furniture has been changed. But the walls still remember me. Where is he? I ask. She hesitates. That tells me everything. He's meeting a lawyer, she finally says. Of course he is. I step closer to her. Do you know what he did to me? She shakes her head slowly. He said you were dangerous. I laugh quietly. And now? She looks at me like she is seeing a ghost. I think he lied, she whispers. I lean in close. He always lies. Suddenly, the front door opens. Heavy footsteps. The air changes. I straighten my back. Because the man who destroyed my life has just walked into the room. He freezes when he sees me. His face turns white. For the first time in 2 years, he looks afraid. And in that moment, I realize something powerful. My freedom has already started costing him. But this is only the beginning. For a long moment, no one speaks. The man who once called himself my husband stands frozen in the doorway. His briefcase slips slightly in his hand. His eyes move from my face, to my sister, then to the mistress behind me. He looks like a man who has just seen the dead walk back into his life. You, he says, his voice cracking. How are you here? I fold my arms slowly. I walked out. The room feels too small. The walls feel like they are closing in on him now, the same way prison walls closed in on me. That's not possible, he whispers. You weren't supposed to be released for another. He stops talking. Because he realizes what he just said. The mistress turns sharply toward him. What do you mean? He swallows hard. I meant. You knew, she asks. You knew she was getting out today? Silence. I smile softly. Not because I am happy, but because I see it clearly now. He is trapped. I didn't know until this morning, I say calmly. Funny how freedom works, isn't it? It doesn't send warnings. He steps back, his face tight. You shouldn't be here. I tilt my head. This is my house. The mistress looks around, confused. What? My parents left it to me, I continue. Along with the accounts, the documents, everything. She looks at him again. You told me this house was yours. He opens his mouth, but no sound comes out. I step closer to him. Did you miss me? He stares at me like he is trying to decide whether to shout or beg. You need to leave, he finally says. We can talk later. No, I reply. We talk now. My sister stands silently near the door, her hands shaking. You framed me, I say. You destroyed my life. You stole 2 years from me. The mistress's eyes fill with fear. Is that true? He snaps. Stay out of this. She steps back, shocked by his tone. I raise my voice just enough to be heard. You used her. You used me. And you thought prison would erase me. His face turns red. You have no proof. I smile again. Not yet. That word hits him hard. He clenches his jaw. You think you're clever? You think walking out of prison makes you powerful? I lean closer, my voice low. No. Surviving it does. The mistress starts crying. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. I look at her. Did you ever ask why everything happened so easily for you? She looks away. I turn back to him. You're scared, I say. I can see it. He laughs suddenly, too loud. You have nothing. No job. No home. No name. Who would believe you? I straighten my back. The truth doesn't need permission. He steps toward me, lowering his voice. Listen. We can fix this. Quietly. I shake my head. No more quiet. The room grows tense. Even the air feels heavy. Then my sister speaks. "There's something you should know," she says softly. He turns to her, anger flashing in his eyes. "You should keep your mouth shut." She takes a deep breath. "I can't anymore." My heart starts beating faster. "What are you talking about?" he snaps. She looks at me, then back at him. "The documents you hid. The ones you thought were destroyed." His face drains of color. "What documents?" the mistress asks quickly. He ignores her. "You're lying." "I'm not," my sister says. "I kept copies." The silence that follows is terrifying. "You had no right," he growls. "I had every right," she replies. "You threatened me. You ruined her." "I was a coward. But not anymore." My chest tightens. "I never knew. Never imagined." "You don't know what you're doing," he says. "Those papers could destroy us all." I take a step forward. "They only destroy liars." The mistress looks between us, panic rising. "What papers?" He finally snaps. "Enough. Both of you." He pulls out his phone. His hands are shaking now. "Get out," he says to me, "or I will call the police." I laugh quietly. "Please do." He freezes. "What?" "Call them," I repeat. I would love to explain how I ended up in prison. The mistress gasps. "You said the case was closed." He looks at her like he wants to scream. "I didn't plan for this," she whispers. "You said she would never come back." He turns to me, his eyes dark. "You think you've won?" "No," I say. "I think you're going to make a mistake." He steps closer, lowering his voice. "You don't know how far I'll go." I meet his eyes without fear. "I already do." Suddenly, there is a knock at the door. 3 sharp knocks. Everyone freezes. My sister's eyes widen. The mistress wipes her tears quickly. He looks like a man about to lose control. Another knock. "Who is that?" the mistress whispers. He doesn't answer. Because he already knows. And so do I. My heart pounds as footsteps shift outside. Whoever is at that door has come too soon. And whatever happens next will change everything. The knocking comes again. Slow. Heavy. Certain. Each knock feels like it is hitting my chest instead of the door. No one moves. My husband, no, the man who ruined my life, stares at the door as if it might disappear if he looks hard enough. The mistress grips the back of the couch, her knuckles turning white. My sister steps closer to me, her body tense. "Who is it?" the mistress whispers again. Still, no answer. I take a small step forward. My heart is beating fast, but my mind is calm. Prison taught me something important. Fear loses its power when you stop running from it. "I'll open it," I say. "No," he snaps, spinning toward me. "You're not opening anything." I look at him. Really look at him. 2 years ago, this man controlled everything. My home. My name. My freedom. Right now, he looks small. "Sit down," I say quietly. He laughs, sharp and nervous. "You think you can give orders now?" "I know I can," I reply. The knocking comes again. Louder this time. He swears under his breath and walks to the door himself. His hand trembles as he reaches for the handle. When the door opens, a man in a dark suit stands outside. He holds a folder under his arm. His eyes move quickly over the room, taking everything in. "Good afternoon," the man says. "I'm looking for." His eyes land on me. He stops talking. For a second, he just stares. Then his eyebrows rise slightly. "Well," he says slowly, "this is unexpected." My husband's face turns pale. "You said you would come alone," he says. The man in the suit looks at him. "I said I would come quietly." The mistress steps forward. "Who is he?" The man turns to her politely. I'm his lawyer. Her eyes widen. His lawyer? Why are you here? The lawyer glances at me again, then back at my husband. We need to talk. Now. My husband forces a smile. This isn't a good time. The lawyer lowers his voice. It is the worst time to lie to me. Silence fills the room. Please, my husband says through his teeth. Not in front of them. The lawyer sighs. Then perhaps you should have thought about that before today. I step forward. Before what? The lawyer looks at me carefully. You must be. She doesn't need to know anything, my husband cuts in quickly. The lawyer raises an eyebrow. That depends. Depends on what? I ask. He hesitates, then speaks. On how much damage control is still possible. The mistress looks like she might faint. What damage? My husband turns to her sharply. Go to the bedroom. She shakes her head. No. I want to know what's going on. The lawyer clears his throat. There has been a development in your case. My heart jumps. My case. He nods. The one that sent you to prison. My husband's voice rises. You said it was over. You said it was sealed. It was, the lawyer replies. Until someone reopened it. All eyes turn to my sister. Her lips tremble, but she does not look away. I did, she says quietly. My husband explodes. You traitor. I'm tired of being afraid, she says. And I gave them everything. Everything, he roars. Copies of the documents, she says. Messages. Dates. Transfers. Lies. The lawyer opens his folder. Enough to raise serious questions. The mistress backs away slowly. What did you do? She whispers to my husband. He ignores her, staring at my sister like he wants to erase her. You ruined me, he says. No, I say calmly. You ruined yourself. The lawyer looks at me. There is something else you should know. I brace myself. What? He speaks slowly. The authorities are reviewing the original evidence. And if what we suspect is true, he pauses. My heart pounds. Then your conviction may have been based on false testimony. The room spins. The mistress lets out a small cry. False testimony. She turns to my husband. You told them she threatened me? He says nothing. You told them she was violent, she presses. Still nothing. Her voice breaks. You made me lie. He finally snaps. I did what I had to do. She stares at him, horror on her face. I take a deep breath. What happens now? I ask the lawyer. He looks at me seriously. Now things move fast. How fast? I ask. Before he can answer, there is another sound. Not knocking. Sirens. Distant at first. Then closer. My husband's eyes widen. No, he whispers. The lawyer closes his folder. I warned you. The mistress starts crying. What's happening? I feel something I have not felt in 2 years. Hope. But hope is dangerous. Because as the sirens grow louder, my husband turns slowly toward me, his face hard and desperate. And I realize something terrifying. A desperate man does not think clearly. And he is about to do something that cannot be undone. The sirens grow louder. They are not close yet, but they are close enough to be real. My husband's breathing becomes heavy. His chest rises and falls fast, like an animal trapped in a corner. I have never seen him like this before. Not calm. Not charming. Not in control. This is the real him. What did you do? He snaps at the lawyer. You said this would never happen. The lawyer takes a slow step back. I told you the truth would eventually find its way out. The mistress drops onto the couch, shaking. Police, she whispers. Why are the police coming? No one answers her. My sister's hand finds mine. Her palm is cold, but her grip is strong. I'm sorry, she whispers to me. I waited too long. I squeeze her hand gently. You came when it mattered. The sirens sound closer now. My husband suddenly turns and locks the front door. The loud click echoes through the room. Everyone freezes. What are you doing? The lawyer asks sharply. Protecting myself, my husband says. Open that door, the lawyer demands. This will only make things worse. My husband laughs, a wild, broken sound. Worse. You think this can get worse? He turns to me, his eyes dark. You planned this, he says. I shake my head slowly. No. I survived you. That's all. The mistress stands up suddenly. You told me she was dangerous, she cries. You told me she would hurt us. He spins toward her. And look what you did. You brought her into my house. My house, I correct quietly. He ignores me. You said you loved me, the mistress sobs. You said we would be a family. He stares at her like she is nothing. You were useful. Her face breaks. The truth hits her harder than any lie ever could. The sirens stop. Silence. Then voices outside. Someone knocks. Firm. Official. Police. A voice calls. Open the door. My heart pounds. The lawyer looks at my husband. This is your last chance. Open it. My husband's eyes dart around the room. He looks at the windows, the hallway, the kitchen. Then he looks at me. And in his eyes I see it. Blame. If you had just stayed quiet, he says slowly, none of this would be happening. I take a step toward him. If you had told the truth, I wouldn't have lost 2 years of my life. He lunges suddenly and grabs my arm. My sister screams. Let her go, the lawyer shouts. My husband's grip is tight. Pain shoots up my arm. You think you've won, he hisses in my face. You think they'll just give you your life back? I look him straight in the eye. They already did. He pushes me away hard. I stumble but I do not fall. The police knock again, louder. Open the door now. The mistress starts crying uncontrollably. Please, just open it. My husband looks at her with disgust. You did this. No, she sobs. You did. That is when he completely loses control. He grabs his phone and throws it against the wall. It shatters. I gave everything to protect myself, he yells. Everything. The lawyer steps back further. You're making it worse. My husband laughs again. I don't care anymore. He storms toward the hallway. My heart drops. Where are you going? I shout. He does not answer. Another loud knock. Final warning. Open the door. My sister looks at me in panic. What if he runs? He won't get far, the lawyer says. But he might hurt someone first. The thought chills me. I follow him down the hallway. He is in the bedroom, pulling open drawers, throwing things onto the floor. What are you looking for? I ask. He turns, breathing hard. Something they won't find. I realize then how desperate he is. You framed me, I say. You lied. And now you're scared. He steps closer. You don't know what fear is. I raise my chin. I lived it for 2 years. For a moment, something flashes across his face. Regret. But it disappears quickly. The police start forcing the door. Wood cracks. My husband looks around wildly. Then he does something that makes my heart stop. He pulls out a folder from under the bed. This, he says, holding it up, is what sent you to prison. My breath catches. What's in it? I whisper. He smiles, a cruel, broken smile. Proof, he says. And lies. The door in the living room breaks open. Footsteps rush inside. Police. Don't move. My husband's eyes meet mine one last time. And in that moment I know. He is about to make one final choice. A choice that will expose everything, or destroy us all. Drop it, a police officer shouts from the hallway. My husband does not move. He stands there, frozen, holding the folder like it is the last thing keeping him alive. His eyes are wide, wild, jumping between the officers rushing in and my face. For a second, everything feels slow. Too slow. The folder shakes in his hand. This, he says again, louder now, is what ruined her. The officers spread out, weapons lowered but ready. The lawyer raises both hands. My sister stands behind me, barely breathing. The mistress has slid down against the wall in the living room, crying so hard she can barely make a sound. Put the folder on the bed, an officer orders. Now. My husband laughs, a sharp sound that hurts my ears. You don't understand, he says. If I let this go, I'm finished. I step forward before anyone can stop me. Let it go, I say quietly. He looks at me. Really looks at me. For the first time since I walked free, I see something close to fear mixed with shame. You think this ends with me in handcuffs? He asks. You think the world will suddenly love you again? I swallow. I think the truth deserves to breathe. His jaw tightens. The officer repeats, last warning. Drop the folder. My husband's fingers tighten around it. No, he snaps. You all want the truth? Fine. He opens the folder. Papers spill out onto the floor. Photographs. Printed messages. Bank records. Dates circled in red ink. The room goes silent. One of the officers bends down and picks up a paper. His expression changes. These are false statements, the officer says. Signed. Dated. My knees feel weak. My husband points at the papers. I built the case myself. Every lie. Every detail. The mistress lets out a broken scream. You said they were real. He turns to her coldly. You repeated them. That was enough. I feel something crack inside my chest. Not pain. Release. So you admit it, I say. He shrugs. I admit I did what I had to do. The officer steps closer. You're under arrest for conspiracy, obstruction of justice, and falsifying evidence. The sound of handcuffs clicking open fills the room. That is when my husband snaps. He suddenly lunges forward, not at the officers, but toward the window. Stop him! Someone shouts. Chaos erupts. An officer grabs his arm. Another blocks the window. The folder is knocked from his hand. Papers fly everywhere like broken wings. I cover my mouth, my heart pounding so hard I feel dizzy. They force him to the ground. Get off me, he screams. She did this. She ruined me. He points at me with shaking fingers. I look down at him calmly. No. I survived you. The words hit him harder than the handcuffs. They pull him up, his arms locked behind his back. His face is red, his hair messy, his confidence completely gone. The mistress crawls toward him. Please, she sobs. Tell them I didn't know. He does not even look at her. I warned you, he mutters. Never trust anyone. That is when she finally understands. She was never special. She was just next. The officers lead him toward the door. As they pass me, he stops and turns his head slightly. You think this gives you your life back? He whispers. I meet his eyes. It gives me the truth. He laughs weakly. The truth doesn't erase prison. No, I say softly. But it ends the lie. They take him away. The house feels empty once he is gone. Too quiet. One of the officers turns to me. We'll need you to come in and give a full statement. I nod. I will. The lawyer steps forward. This changes everything, he says. Your conviction can be reviewed. Reviewed. The word feels heavy. My sister hugs me tightly, crying into my shoulder. I'm so sorry, she says again. I hold her back. We still have work to do. The mistress sits alone on the floor, staring at the scattered papers. Her life has collapsed in a single afternoon. She looks up at me. What happens to me? I pause. That depends, I say, on whether you tell the truth. She nods slowly, tears streaming down her face. As the police gather the evidence, I look around the house one last time. It no longer feels like home. It feels like a place where lies lived. I walk out the door with my sister beside me. Outside, the sky is darkening. The air feels different, lighter. But deep inside, I know this is not over. Because prison took 2 years from me. And now, I must fight to take my life back. And the fight for justice is only beginning. The police car doors slam shut. The sound echoes in my ears long after the cars drive away. Red and blue lights fade down the street, taking him with them. For a moment, I just stand there on the front steps, breathing in the night air like it might disappear. 2 years ago, I watched police cars take me away. Tonight, they took him. But freedom does not feel the way I imagined. It feels heavy. An officer stays behind to lock the house and collect final evidence. The lawyer speaks quietly on his phone, already moving pieces I cannot see. My sister stands beside me, her arm around my back, as if I might fall apart if she lets go. Are you okay? She asks softly. I nod, but it is not the whole truth. I am not broken anymore, but I am not healed either. At the station, everything moves fast. They put me in a small room with gray walls and a table that feels colder than it should. A female officer brings me water and tells me to take my time. So I tell them everything. I talk about the late nights, the secret phone calls, the lies that slowly poisoned my marriage. I tell them how the mistress cried in court, how the judge believed her, how my voice felt small and useless. I tell them about prison. The nights I cried into my pillow so no one would hear. The days I stared at the wall and counted cracks just to make time pass. The birthdays I missed. The funerals I was not allowed to attend. The officer listens without interrupting. When I finish, my throat hurts and my hands are shaking. She nods slowly. You were failed, she says. Those words hit me harder than I expect. After hours of questions, they finally let me leave. Outside the station, the sky is turning gray. Morning is coming. My sister drives me to her place. It is small, but clean. She gives me fresh clothes, makes me tea, and sits across from me at the table. I don't expect forgiveness, she says quietly. But I want to earn it. I look at her tired face and see my own pain reflected there. I don't know what forgiveness looks like yet, I say honestly. But we can start with truth. She nods. The next days blur together. Lawyers call. Meetings are scheduled. Papers are signed. The case that once buried me is reopened. My name starts to clear, slowly, painfully. But with every step forward, something else grows heavier. The past is catching up. One afternoon, I sit alone in my sister's living room when a knock comes at the door. My body stiffens. For a second, I am back in that house again. The sirens. The shouting. The folder of lies. My sister opens the door. It is the mistress. She looks nothing like the woman I saw before. Her eyes are red and swollen. Her hair is pulled back carelessly. She holds her bag like a shield. I just want to talk, she says softly. My sister looks at me, unsure. I take a deep breath. Let her in. We sit across from each other, the air thick with tension. I didn't know, she says immediately. I swear. I believed him. I watch her closely. You lied in court. Tears spill down her face. Because I was scared. He told me if I didn't, I would lose everything. So you helped take my freedom, I say. She nods, shaking. I know. And I will tell them everything now. I already contacted the police. I study her face. For the first time, I do not see an enemy. I see another victim of the same man. Why are you here? I ask. She hesitates. Because he left something behind. My heart tightens. What? She opens her bag and pulls out a small flash drive. He hid it in the house, she says. He told me never to touch it. I didn't know what it was until after he was arrested. I stare at it. What's on it? She swallows. Recordings. Messages. Things he said when he thought no one was listening. My hands tremble as I take it. This could help clear your name completely, she adds. But it could also put me in danger. I look up at her. Why give it to me? She meets my eyes. Because I don't want to live with the lie anymore. That night, I sit with my sister and plug the flash drive into her laptop. The screen lights up. Files appear. Dates. Names. Audio recordings. I click the first one. His voice fills the room. Calm. Confident. Cruel. She'll break in prison, he says in the recording. And when she does, everything will be mine. My sister covers her mouth. I feel cold. We listen to more. Every file is worse than the last. Plans. Threats. Laughing about my tears. Talking about how easy it was to manipulate the court. By the time we stop, my hands are numb. This will destroy him, my sister whispers. I close the laptop slowly. No, I say. It will expose him. The next morning, the lawyer listens to the recordings. His face goes pale. This changes everything, he says. But you need to be careful. Why? I ask. He leans forward. Because when people realize they are truly finished, they sometimes try to take others down with them. That night, my phone buzzes. Unknown number. I stare at the screen, my heart racing. Then a message appears. You think this is over. It's not. My blood runs cold. Because I know that message could only come from one place. And if he can still reach me, then this story is far from finished. I stare at the message on my phone. You think this is over. It's not. My fingers feel numb. The room suddenly feels smaller, tighter, like the walls are leaning in to listen. My sister looks up from the kitchen. What's wrong? I don't answer right away. I read the message again, hoping I imagined it. Hoping it will disappear. It doesn't. I lock my phone and take a slow breath. He found a way to reach me. Her face drains of color. From jail. I don't know, I say honestly. But it's him. The lawyer's warning echoes in my head. When people realize they are finished. Fear tries to rise inside me, but I push it down. I have lived with fear before. I will not let it rule me again. Show me, my sister says. I hand her the phone. She reads the message, then looks up sharply. We need to tell the police. We will, I say. But first, I want to understand something. Understand what? How far he's willing to go. That night, sleep does not come easily. Every sound makes me jump. Every shadow feels like a threat. I keep thinking about prison, how danger could come quietly, without warning. How you learn to stay alert, even when you are tired. Around midnight, my phone buzzes again. Another message. You forgot who I am. My heart pounds. Then another. You forgot what I know about you. I sit up in bed, my hands shaking. My sister rushes in. What is it? I show her the screen. Her jaw tightens. This is harassment. Threats. Yes, I whisper. And he wants me to be scared. I refuse to give him that. The next morning, we go straight to the police station. I show them the messages. The officer's expression turns serious. This came through a masked number, he says. But we'll trace it. Can he do this from jail? I ask. Not directly, the officer replies. which means someone may be helping him. That thought chills me. Someone on the outside. Someone still loyal to him. Or afraid of him. As we leave the station, my phone buzzes again. This time, it's a call. Unknown number. I hesitate. Then I answer. Hello. For a second, there is only breathing on the other end. Slow. Calm. Then his voice. I told you it wasn't over. My legs feel weak, but I force my voice to stay steady. You're not supposed to contact me. He chuckles softly. You always did like rules. You're making things worse for yourself, I say. You already ruined me, he replies. I just want to make sure you understand the cost. My sister grabs the phone. Don't you dare threaten her. He laughs. I'm not threatening. I'm reminding. The line goes dead. We stand there in silence. That was him, my sister whispers. I nod. That afternoon, the lawyer calls with news. The recordings are solid, he says. They prove intent, planning, manipulation. So my name will be cleared? I ask. Yes, he says. But the process will be public. Public. That word scares me more than prison ever did. He controlled the story once, I say. What if he does it again? He'll try, the lawyer admits. But this time you're not alone. The hearing is set quickly. The day before it happens, a reporter calls my sister's house. Somehow, my name has leaked. Is it true you were framed? The voice asks eagerly. I hang up. Minutes later, another call. Then another. By nightfall, my story is everywhere. Online. On television. On radios. People argue. Some believe me. Some don't. I sit on the couch, staring at the screen as my face appears on the news. Wrongfully imprisoned woman speaks out, the reporter says. My hands tremble. That night, someone knocks on the door. 3 slow knocks. My heart jumps. My sister looks at me, terrified. Who would come this late? I shake my head. We do not answer. The knocking comes again. Louder. Open the door, a voice calls. We just want to talk. It's a man's voice. Not his, but familiar somehow. My sister grabs her phone. I'm calling the police. Wait, I whisper. I step closer to the door. Who are you? Silence. Then, someone who knows what he's planning. My breath catches. What is he planning? I ask. He doesn't care about the case anymore, the voice says. He wants revenge. My sister pulls me back. This could be a trap. I know, I say. The man speaks again. If you go into that courtroom tomorrow without protection, you're making a mistake. Who sent you? I ask. No answer. Footsteps move away from the door. We rush to the window, but the street is empty. That night, I do not sleep at all. Because tomorrow, I will face the truth in public. And whatever he is planning, he wants it to hurt. Morning comes too fast. I sit on the edge of the bed, staring at my hands. They are steady. I notice that first. 2 years ago, they would have been shaking. Prison taught me how to hide fear, how to breathe through it, how to stand still when everything inside me wants to run. Today I will need that strength. My sister brings me a cup of tea. You don't have to be brave, she says softly. Just be honest. I nod. Honesty is all I have left, and all I need. Outside, cars line the street. Reporters wait with cameras raised, hungry for every detail. As soon as we step out, voices call my name. Questions fly through the air. Did you really spend 2 years in prison for a crime you didn't commit? Is it true your husband planned everything? Are you afraid of him? I keep walking. Inside the courthouse, the noise fades into a dull hum. The building smells of old paper and quiet authority. I sit on a hard bench, my heart beating slow and steady. Across the room, I see him. He looks smaller than I remember. His shoulders are hunched. His hands are cuffed. But when his eyes meet mine, the hatred in them is sharp. For a moment, I feel a flicker of fear. Then I remember the nights I cried alone. The days I counted just to survive. The fear disappears. The judge enters. Everyone stands. This court is now in session. The case is called. The lawyer stands and begins to speak. He lays out the evidence carefully. The false statements. The forged documents. The recordings from the flash drive. As his voice fills the room, I watch the faces of the people listening. Shock. Disbelief. Anger. When the audio recordings are played, his voice echoes through the courtroom. She'll break in prison. Gasps ripple through the room. The mistress is called to the stand. She looks fragile, but determined. I lied, she says, her voice trembling. I was told what to say. I was scared. Who told you? The judge asks. She takes a breath. He did. All eyes turn to him. He stares straight ahead, his jaw tight. Then it is my turn. I walk to the stand. The wood feels cool under my fingers as I place my hand down. I tell my story. I talk about trust. About love. About how it felt to be betrayed by the person I shared my life with. I talk about prison, the loneliness, the shame, the pain. When I finish, the room is silent. The judge leans forward. Do you have anything to add? I look straight at him. I lost 2 years of my life. I can't get them back. But I don't want revenge. I want the truth to stand. His lawyer stands then, trying to speak. Trying to twist words. Trying to confuse. But it doesn't work. The evidence is too strong. Finally, the judge speaks. This court finds that the original conviction was based on false evidence and deliberate manipulation. My heart stops. The conviction is hereby overturned. For a second, I can't breathe. Then the words sink in. I am officially innocent. Tears fill my eyes, but I do not cry. I feel something better. Relief. But it doesn't end there. The judge continues. Furthermore, the court orders a full criminal investigation into the actions of the defendant. He turns toward my husband. You will remain in custody. My husband finally looks at me. For the first time, his eyes show something close to fear. As we leave the courtroom, reporters rush forward again. Cameras flash. My name is everywhere. Do you feel safe now? Someone asks. I hesitate. Before I can answer, a commotion breaks out behind us. Shouting. An officer yells. Stop him. My heart jumps. I turn just in time to see my husband being dragged back by 2 officers. He is shouting my name. You think this is over? He screams. You think this saves you? The room freezes. The judge slams his gavel. Remove him. As they pull him away, he locks eyes with me one last time. And in that look I see it. Pure rage. That night, I sit alone in my sister's living room, the TV muted in front of me. My phone buzzes non-stop with messages of support, and some of hate. Cleared. Free. Innocent. But when I finally let myself breathe, a terrible thought settles in my chest. Men like him do not stop because a judge tells them to. They stop when they have no more power. And I know something he doesn't. Something that will be revealed tomorrow. Something that will finish what the truth started. The night after the hearing is the quietest night I have had in years. No sirens. No shouting. No guards walking past metal bars. Just silence. I sit by the window at my sister's house, watching the streetlights glow softly. My name is still everywhere. On screens, on radios, on people's lips. Strangers argue about my life like it belongs to them. But for the first time in a long time, my life feels like it belongs to me again. My phone vibrates. One message. From my lawyer. It's done. I stare at the screen, my heart pounding. He calls immediately. They found it, he says. The final piece. What piece? I ask, even though my chest already feels tight. The offshore accounts. The hidden transfers. The properties he moved into false names while you were in prison. I close my eyes. Everything I owned. Everything he stole. They froze everything, the lawyer continues. Every asset. Every account. It's all being returned to you. I let out a long breath I feel like I've been holding for 2 years. And him? I ask quietly. There is a pause. He confessed. My eyes snap open. What? He realized the recordings, the testimony, the financial trail. There was no escape left. He tried to bargain. He tried to blame others. But it failed. I feel no joy. No celebration. Just truth settling into place. He admitted he framed you, the lawyer says. He admitted using the Mistress. He admitted planning your imprisonment so he could take everything. My hands shake, not from fear, but from release. What happens now? I ask. He's facing a long sentence, the lawyer replies. Longer than the time he stole from you. The call ends. I sit there for a long time. Then my sister comes in and sits beside me. It's over, she says softly. I nod. Yes, it is. A week later, I return to my house. My house. The walls are quiet now. Clean. Empty of lies. I walk through each room slowly. The living room where I was accused. The hallway where fear once chased me. The bedroom where I lost everything. And then I stop. In the basement. The place he thought I would never look again. The place where he hid documents. Lies. Proof. Now it holds nothing. And that feels right. I sit on the floor and finally allow myself to cry. Not because I am broken. But because I survived. I lost 2 years of my life. I lost trust. I lost safety. But I did not lose myself. A letter arrives days later. From prison. I do not open it right away. When I finally do, it contains only one line. I never thought you would win. I fold the paper and throw it away. Because winning was never my goal. Freedom was. And his freedom. It cost him everything. Before this story ends, let me speak directly to you. If you are watching this and you feel unheard, if someone has lied about you, controlled you, or made you feel powerless, please remember this. The truth may be slow, but it is patient. And when it arrives, it takes everything back. If this story moved you, subscribe to this channel for more emotional and powerful stories like this. Like this video so others can find it. And comment below. Tell me where you're watching from and what part of this story stayed with you the most. Your voice matters. And sometimes, survival is the strongest revenge of all.